That's yummy!
Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're making a homemade pepperoni pizza. For the ingredients you need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/3 cups of warm water, 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and this is optional, but 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Today we're making our pizza dough with the KitchenAid mixer. You don't have to use a mixer, you can do it by hand. It just takes a little bit longer to knead the dough. This mixer is gonna do all the work for us. We're gonna start with 1 1/3 cups of the warm water. Make sure it's warm, not hot. We're gonna add our yeast, which is 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. And the 1 tablespoon of sugar. Make sure you add your sugar because this is what's gonna help out activate the yeast. Combine everything. And after this, you're gonna let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes until the yeast starts to activate and starts getting foamy. I'm gonna combine the teaspoon of salt to my flour, and this is optional garlic powder. It's just gonna give a little bit more flavor to the dough. You don't have to add this, it's totally optional. Just around a teaspoon as well, and I'm gonna mix it up before I add the flour to the wet ingredients. As you can see, the yeast is active already with the foaming up and all that. So we're gonna start combining the flour. And I'm gonna add the 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're gonna connect the hook. This is the hook we're using for the dough. This is meant for any kneading or doughs that you can make with this mixer. We're gonna start with the option stir so we can combine all the ingredients before we start the kneading process. Now that everything's starting to combine together, I'm gonna move it to low, which is the 2, and let it completely combine until the dough starts, separating a little bit from the bowl before moving it to a higher speed. So we're gonna let it combine completely for 5 to 10 minutes until we see like a more put together dough before we move into a higher speed and before letting it rest. So the dough has been combining and mixing for like 5 minutes on low speed. I stopped it already because already it's completely formed. I'm gonna knead it a little bit more, a higher speed, about a medium speed, which in the mixer is like around 6. And we're gonna knead it for another 10 minutes and before we let it rest. It's been 10 minutes kneading, it's done. And we're gonna lower it. I'm gonna take off the hook. I'm gonna have a little bit of flour in my hands to take off the dough. See? Now I'm just going to shape it up a little bit, making the ball before we let it rest. Pinching the bottom. As you can see, it's super soft already. Didn't stick anymore to the bowl, like this. And I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil in the bowl so it doesn't stick too much to it when we're letting it rest to rise. Our dough is ready. I already put olive oil in the bowl. We're gonna let it rise for around 2 hours. You can leave it longer if you want. Make sure you cover it with plastic paper or a towel. And see you in 2 hours. The dough has been rising for about 2 hours. Now it's time for the fun part. The dough has doubled its size, so this is time to release your anger on the dough. Pour a little bit of flour on your board because we're gonna just knead it a little bit before we start shaping it out. To take out all the air. Just kneading it a little bit before we cut it into 2 halves. This recipe makes 2 pizzas, 2 medium-sized pizzas. And you can save this one for later. I'll put it back in the bowl. And this is the one we're gonna start shaping out. So to shape out the pizza, you can let gravity do the work. Letting it extend like this. You can use a roller too, could be easier if you want, but if you want to do it more manually by hand, just let gravity start stretching it out. Make sure you stretch out your pizza to your desired size and thickness. This is how I like mine. It's a medium-sized pizza. Now we're gonna top it. I'm using marinara sauce or pizza sauce. Use any brand that you want or homemade. And then put it in the middle and then start spreading your way around. Go in circles onto as much sauce as you want. This is where it gets fun. You decide what toppings you want to put. You can do this with your kids. It's always fun to make a pizza with the family. And now we're gonna add the cheese. I like mine really cheesy because I love cheese, so you can put as much cheese as you want. I'm using just regular mozzarella cheese. You can use any kind of cheese that you like. Cheesy pizza, because why not, right? You can never go wrong with cheesy pizza. For toppings, we're just making a simple pepperoni pizza, but the toppings are endless. You can put any toppings you want. For the pepperoni, I suggest starting on the outer side and work your way in so you have as much as pepperoni cover the whole surface as you want, because we don't want to be stingy with our pepperoni. It's a pepperoni pizza. We want to make sure all the surface is covered in pepperoni. As we're finishing up adding the ingredients in our pizza, make sure you're preheating your oven right now, or it's already preheated at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm using my air fryer to bake my pizza, and I'm using the pizza mode on the air fryer. So it's at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Our oven is preheated already. We're gonna put it in and bake it for 15 minutes. Pizza is done. Ooh, look at that, delicious. Smells amazing. Nice, a little bit crusty, how I like it. And even the little bit of the crisp on the cheese as well. Make sure you cut your pizza while it's hot. That way it's easier to cut. It's time for my favorite part, trying it out. Let's dig in. That is yummy. Make sure if you like our videos, like and subscribe, and see you next time.